Sweet ride, Harmy.
Thanks, Steven.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good. Do you mind if we go for a drive in this thing?
In.
Sweet. This is really, really nice. Thank you so much for letting me drive this Defender. That's what we're in today.
Yep, the
Defender.
110 P400X.
X. This is the Model X,
Yep.
which has all the extra equipment.
Yep.
Tuesday test drive. Harmy, Tuesday test drive. Thanks very much for taking me out on this.
You're welcome.
So which way should we go? We should head out this way?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. I'm going to put it in drive here. And, you know, this is my first time driving the Defender. And I got to say, at a glance, I think it's a very good looking vehicle. We're going right here or left here?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, very good looking vehicle. I can see, I imagine a lot of customers are probably not getting this to kind of like go on sand dunes and go off-roading.
To each customer, it's different. Some people love going off-roading and going obviously in the sand, but for majority, people just love the way it looks. People love the way it drives. It's an all-wheel drive car. It gives you that rugged feeling, but also luxury at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's I think it's the best of both worlds for all kinds of customers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it definitely has that sort of like, it's got that rugged look clearly on the outside.
Now, because this one is the X trim, it's the fully loaded V6 version of the Defender, so that's kind of why you have a little bit more of the glossier trim, so you have the blacked out mirror caps.
Right. You were saying you can tell which one this is basically by the hood.
So with the bonnet, you have the half black bonnet, regardless of the color. Well, of course, if it's black, it's just going to be entirely black.
Right, yeah. But you have those sort of like step guards or
Exactly.
whatever. I believe the old Land Rovers from the Army had like those stepping points on them to get to the turret. Of which there's no turret, just a beautiful sunroof there.
Yes, exactly.
And the panoramic roof probably comes on the X.
It does, yeah.
So there's 3 models, correct?
So there's 3 different types of engines. There's a 2-liter, which is 300 horsepower. Then you have the V6, which is 400 horsepower. And then you have the V8, which is 525.
And this one here is the V6.
This is a V6, fully loaded though. So you have to remember, this one is the X.
Right, and hence the X on the side.
Yep.
I noticed this one also has the step bars, but those were added by...
The side steps, yes.
Yeah, the side steps are added by
that's something that you can add after the fact. We also added mud flaps just to kind of give it that, look.
Overall, I'm ready to go off-roading, but I probably might not go off-roading kind of look. Yeah. But at least I look like it.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Through the magic of television, we're in the wilderness.
Yep.
If people can catch the background. Well, before I go any further, you've already adjusted the suspension for me. Yep. Which is very cool, and to watch this thing sort of rise up, I'll give you a shot of that. The suspension travel is pretty phenomenal. And as we get going here, let this car go. You look at the car, and one of the things about it is there's a lot of little details. Even on the interior here, I remember back in the day, in the early 2000s, the Land Rovers that I sold kind of had this very, very similar style interior by a little bit, not by a lot. Yeah. But then you start to get more into the usage of it, and you really feel the luxury part. But at the same time, much like I noticed in the rear of the vehicle, it's got like very hard plastic washable bits where you're going to be using it.
Yes.
So it's a little bit of both, right?
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it definitely shows, and we're gonna do the roundabout test here. And for a vehicle that is this high off the ground with adjustable suspension, I just can't get over how, coming from driving sports cars, and I know you drive a sports car as well, it's not a sports car drive, but this is not the drive I thought. I thought this would be way more, I'll say, Jeep-like, rugged, Jeep-like, like much more, I could hear the road noise but this is not at all like that. It's very much quieter a ride, I thought, and definitely by the interior. I know you said you really like the luxe part of the interior between the sunroof and everything. I think it's a really, really nice interior. What do customers say they love about this thing?
Customers love the exterior, of course.
Yeah.
Majority of the customers love the off-roading aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
But majority, I would say, it's just the look of it, and also maybe the seating capacity.
Right. Okay. Because we can go to
7.
We can go to 7 in this vehicle.
7 seats.
Okay. So every kid gets a row, because God forbid you only have your own seat. But do you think a lot of customers? I guess there lies the question. We ask this all the time. Ferrari people, are you ever going to go on a track with this thing? Do you think people would go off-roading in a vehicle like this? Or
Definitely. The Defender is meant for off-roading, all-wheel drive. You have different drive modes also. You can go...
Yeah, so you got all the capability, but if all you're going to do is go get some groceries and stuff,
it's perfect for that too.
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
yeah, I guess it'd be perfect.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, I mean, I was looking at the rear as well, and when we were looking at the vehicle, I think it's one of the more handsome SUVs on the market, at all, like front to back. I also noticed on the interior, as glossy and as shiny, beautiful the exterior is, you open up the inside of it, and I could see like the torque screws on the dash here, and the way they incorporate the wood. It's not glossy, it's matte.
Yeah.
But they also got that sort of colorized stripe on the inside here as well. I see all the bins. I remember the bins from the Land Rovers that I would sell as well. A lot of compartments.
A lot of space.
A lot of space, yeah. A lot of space in general. And actually, it's a bit bigger a vehicle than I thought. I pictured it being a bit smaller on the inside.
A bit tighter, maybe?
A little bit tighter, yeah. I guess in my mind's eye, I hear a lot of people compare it to Jeep and Jeep Off-Road. Yeah. But I would say the comparisons kind of maybe end on the off-road part. Everything else is very different. Like I would say this is a much more luxurious ride. It's a lot quieter for sure. Obviously, this is I guess you could say a true sort of lifestyle vehicle. Definitely for people with active lifestyles, I would imagine, or families, we'll say. But definitely kind of packaged in that sort of like let's go off-roading sort of way, I guess.
Absolutely,
which is pretty cool. Not to mention, changeable ride heights. And I got to say, like the interior, it's laid out in a way that is not loaded down with like tech and features, but at the same time, the center console has this beautiful screen, and the screen itself is actually kind of like very much in keeping with the style of the vehicle. Yep. It's got like a beautiful sort of paper white look to it, and the cameras are fantastic. This one has the 360 view as well.
It does, yeah.
Excellent. Great for parking or towing. Tuesday test drive. Harmy, Tuesday test drive.
Thank you for having me.
You overshot the entrance. Try that one more time. Take two. Pull up, slow and right. That's okay.